Hey. All right, so let's get right into this. This is a particularly important video because the biggest change that Biden did for Social Security benefits was repealing basically the 1970s ladder and 1983 Greenspan Commission's changes to Social Security benefits in their attempt to save them, which means they basically reduced benefits for those who have a dual pension, mostly through the WEP, and then also the GPO provisions as well. So, as a result of that, one of the things you kind of have to keep in mind is that in this particular sense, a lot of people are very cranky and angry because there hasn't been a lot of updates or news from high level political executives working with the SSA to explain what's actually going on with the Social Security Fairness Act. So, with that said, I'm here to kind of give you a status update. Today, breaking news, the Social Security Administration released a page specifically explaining some of the updates for the Social Security Fairness Act, but it does not give a definitive date as to when they're actually going to have it prepared. It gives a lot of excuses. One of the things that you need to understand here is that the Democrats should have gone ahead and passed the Social Security Fairness Act since they wanted to, all the way back to January of 2024. That way they had time to alter the landscape and get more Democratic voters going into the 2024 to 2025 presidential election. But they didn't. So then they changed their setup. So let's talk about this real quick. The Democrats had a victory lap by passing the Social Security Fairness Act. The average American is pissed about this because they know the trust funds are going to run out faster and they're not going to get extra money. But there's about 3 million people who have dual pensions for retirement purposes who are rejoicing that they are getting extra money through the poverty bend points. Now, WEP people, and I was asked this question in the prior video. Again, WEP people that are getting a boost, it will affect your Social Security disability insurance benefits as well. So yes, it will affect your SSDI benefits. Yes, it will affect your Title II retirement benefits. And yes, some widows need to go ahead and apply for widows benefits that could potentially tap into these new benefits via the changes in the Social Security Fairness Act. But I'll go into that in more detail shortly. All right. Y'all know what the Social Security Fairness Act is. Y'all know what it does. But more importantly, people are getting pissed off, of essentially what's being paid out, let alone they're not getting updates as to when the SSA is actually going to be paying these benefits. Well, the SSA released an information page on the Social Security Fairness Act today. And just to simplify things for those in the audience who have the squirrel attention syndrome, which I totally understand, there's no definitive date as to when these benefits will start paying out. We all thought, I was even advised by somebody, that basically they were going to be paid out before Trump got in. That way, Biden was the person who signed it into law, and also the benefits were released during Biden's presidency. But that's not what happened. So this leaves a very, very huge, I'm going to use Trump quotes here because this is his moment of glory, right? A very huge, and you got to wonder, how do you make huge that huge? It's already a big word, but when you got to emphasize it that much, I feel like it's a little bit of a dramatization. But anyways, quote, huge, quote, the biggest it's ever been, right? One of those spiels. Low-hanging fruit opportunities for Trump. And it really is. It's a low-hanging fruit opportunity. All right. The Democrats passed the bill too late in the election cycle to have it affect people and how they would vote in the presidential election. So Biden switched the motive to being his final gift to Social Security recipients, since, to be fair, his presidency was pretty under expectations. Although Commissioner Martin O'Malley was a solid win for the Democrats. He did a really good job. I was really happy with him. Here is the kicker, though. The act passed, but the benefits never paid. Trump is now in the driving seat of this act because he has some options available to him as to what he can demand related to these benefits being paid out. Before I tell you that whole story, please remember the history with this. Trump's commissioner was Commissioner Saul. Commissioner Saul was effed over by Biden. He was fired by Biden for not making a list and then, doing the payments of that list for SSI recipients to get their COVID stimulus checks fast enough. He was super duper pissed that basically Commissioner Saul was hitting up the IRS to give the SSA employees more money to make this list, process this list, and get these payments made, to give it to the IRS so that the U.S. Treasury can make the payments. As a result, Biden, who just had a recent Supreme Court ruling that Social Security Commissioner was part of his cabinet positions, said, Saul, you're out. You're gone. Bye-bye. I know this is hanging kind of weird. It's because I have a new audio setup. I'll fix that a little bit later. But he said, you're out. You're gone. Bye-bye. And then he put in Commissioner Kijakazi, who took Saul's place. So basically, Biden fired Trump's commissioner because Trump's commissioner made a list too slow and didn't pay out fast enough, something that was pushed through Congress to give Social Security recipients more money in their time of need. Sound familiar to the current situation, such as the Social Security Fairness Act? Should sound very similar, very linear, okay? Now, Trump can do any one of the following and make the Social Security Fairness Act his own. He can basically take over the wow factor of it. He can take over basically the ownership of it. He can take the credit away from the Democrats because every day past Biden's presidency that the payments do not start rolling out is a stain on Biden's promise to the Social Security Administration, which is not good for the Democrats. They really did this poorly. They didn't time it out right. Very poor chess playing here. So for Trump to make the Social Security Fairness Act a Republican thing, he can basically go ahead and send a demand letter publicly to the SSA to pay the benefits as quickly as possible. Right off the bat, it makes him the hero of it. Go to the SSA to review the list creation process for sending out the checks and make suggestions. Right off the bat, makes him the savior of that particular act. Next one, make a demand on Commissioner Carolyn Colvin to pay the benefits by a certain date or to face termination where another acting commissioner would be put in place. Sound familiar to Commissioner Saul, to Commissioner Kijikazi? It should. President Trump would likely line this timing up with the process to get his new pick commissioner in place being Frank Bisignano. Next one, place a page on the White House website showing how many days have passed since the Social Security Fairness Act was signed into law, yet not paid. Another one, hold a special public meeting with the Fraternal Order of the Police talking about the current state of the economy and the need for the benefits to be released immediately. Next one, an advertisement campaign calling the benefit dollars being hostage to a Democrat-led Social Security Administration, when in reality, it's not really being held hostage, but, Carolyn Colvin is a registered Democrat, so Republicans could play that game. Now, I'm going to use the power of this channel to go ahead and read to you what specifically the SSA has to say about this, what's going on. But the point is, Trump is kind of sleeping at the wheel when it comes to taking advantage of getting in front of this bill. And he could change the entire schematic. Schumer, move over. All the Democrats in the House, move over. President Biden, move over. If he does those things, he takes command. He takes control of the Social Security Fairness Act. And at that point, he then is in charge of pushing to get those benefits paid. And here's the kicker. He doesn't really have to worry too much because the money is there from the trust funds. And to be fair, right, it's merely just a matter of the SSA getting her done. That's the bottom line with this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read to you specifically what the SSA has to say from their website, updated today, January 24th, 2025. Here we go. What is the Social Security Fairness Act and who does it help? The act was signed into law on January 5th, 2025. The act ends the windfall elimination provision, WP, and government pension offset, which, by the way, was supposed to be signed on the 6th, but they had that big windstorm. That's why it got signed early. These provisions reduced or eliminated the Social Security benefits of over 3.2 million people who receive a pension based on work that was not covered by the Social Security, by Social Security, a non-covered pension because they did not pay Social Security taxes. This law increases Social Security benefits for certain types of workers, including some teachers, firefighters, police officers, federal employees covered by the Civil Service Retirement System, which is like the old system before FARS, people whose work had been covered by a foreign Social Security system. If you want to think of it simply, just think a person worked and was exempt from paying FICA taxes to the SSA because they paid money into another pension program, and that pension program they worked for in a while, and then they went back to the SSA and paid a pension program through the FICA taxes. Or, option 2, they paid FICA taxes, and then they switched over to a different job where they paid money into a different pension where Social Security FICA taxes were exempt. It's a 2 pension. Some of their life they spent into 1 pension. Some of their life they spent into the SSA. Those are those people. Cool. Awesome. Will every teacher, firefighter, police officer, or public worker receive a benefit increase because of the new law? Not necessarily. We know that some press articles have mentioned teachers, firefighters, police officers, and other public employees when discussing the Social Security Fairness Act. However, only people who receive a pension based on work not covered by Social Security may see benefit increases under this new law. Most state and local public employees, about 72%, work in Social Security covered employment where they pay Social Security taxes and are not affected by the WP or GPO. Those individuals will not receive a benefit increase due to the act. Now, I don't know if you guys have studied this, but if you go look at the firefighters, you go look at some of these police officers, etc., that paid into these other pensions pay good money, which proves very quickly that the Social Security Administration was essentially governed, managed by a bunch of political, I don't want to say idiots, but a bunch of political people who basically really screwed over the average American. And think of it this way, just take a moment for just a moment. If you look at the Fraternal Order of the Police and all the people on pensions with that, if you look at all the firefighters and their pension with that, all the railroad people and their pension with that, all the teachers who got the worst deal, they make the least, and their pension with that. If you look at all of them, their small little groups managed their pensions better so that they would get more pension money per dollar of what they paid in, which don't make any sense. Because if you had the power of investment of that much Social Security FICA taxes from that many Americans, you should Walmart the shit out of everybody. You would control the entire financial marketplace with your giant stick of complete investment power. But the federal politicians, they screwed over the American people, and it's absolutely horrible. And that is because the American people voted them in over and over, because they like to vote people in where they know the names of the politician. They don't even need to know what they stand for. They just like the names of the politician. Next one. When will a person see their Social Security benefit increased because of the Social Security Fairness Act? SSA is finalizing its plan to implement the act while limiting negative effects on our regular workloads and service to the public. We cannot yet provide an estimated time frame for when we will adjust a person's past or future benefits, but we will continue to provide updates on this webpage. We thank the public for its patience. In other words, they don't know. They're just kind of well, hey, we're trying to get this thing together. We're in the contemplative phase. We got some lists together. None of them are talking to each other, but we got this thing. We're going to make it happen for you. Don't worry about it. All right. By how much may a person's monthly benefit increase? The amount monthly benefits may change can vary greatly depending on factors such as the type of Social Security benefit received and the amount of the person's pension. Some people's benefits will increase very little, while others may be eligible for over $1,000 more each month. For some already receiving benefits affected by WP or GPO, how far back might they receive increased benefits under the Social Security Fairness Act? December 2023 is the last month that WP and GPO will apply. Because remember, it's retroactive. It goes to January 2024. This means that those rules no longer apply to benefits payable for January 2024 and later. Important reminder, however, is that Social Security benefits payable for January 2024 would generally have been received in February of 2024. So just remember there's that month offset. What should people do now that the Social Security Fairness Act is law? Because the GPO could reduce or eliminate Social Security spouses or surviving spouses' benefits, some non-covered pension recipients may have never applied for benefits. If you never apply for spouses or survivor spouses benefits, you may need to file an application. The date of your application might affect when your benefits begin. Filing sooner might help you get a higher benefit amount. In other words, if you are a spouse or a surviving spouse, you get your butt to the SSA website. You get your butt to the SSA website tonight. Okay? I love being that guy. That guy is just happy. He's just tired. He's worn out. I don't know if you can see, but the bags under my eyes, they just own this face. Look at all that sag. That is some beautiful. Ooh, look at that sag. That is nice. That is good. I'm carrying my my regret and sorrow right here. We're doing good. All right. You may need to file an application. The date of your application might affect when your benefits begin. Filing sooner might help you get a higher benefit amount. The most convenient way to apply for retirement or spouse's benefits is online at www.ssa.gov/apply. Again, ssa.gov/apply. The online application will still collect pension information until the application is changed. However, the SSA will not offset the benefit. Okay? Excellent. The survivor benefit application is not available online. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, so survivor benefit is not online. People who cannot apply online for benefits should call the 800-772-1213 phone number, which is the 800 number. Again, 800-772-1213 phone number, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. to basically go ahead and apply. Remember, that is local time. So, if you're in Florida or California, it's basically, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., whatever your local time is across the thing. Now, remember, you're going to be sitting on the phone for 45 minutes to an hour and a half. So just remember, if you're watching your favorite TV show, that's your day that you pick to go ahead and let that music just soak into your soul. Also, they do have a specific PDF online. I'll do a video specifically how to file that PDF online. That way, everybody can just get that, fax it into the SSA, and be done. Next one. All right, let's take a look real quick. Let's see what we got. Okay, next one. All right. If you are not sure whether if you ever applied for spouses or surviving benefits, you may need to file an application. The date of your application might affect your benefits beginning. Filing sooner might help you get blah, blah, blah. If you are entitled to spouses or surviving spouses benefits, and your benefits are currently being reduced or limited by GPO, or if you are entitled to retired or disabled workers benefits, and your benefits are currently being reduced by WP, consider reviewing the mailing address and or direct deposit information that SSA has on file for you. This is where basically you get an SSA 795, an SSA 795. You put down on that SSA 795 name, social, birthday, bank account information, like where they're going to go ahead and send it over, current address, all the stuff that they need to pay you. Okay. You put it on there, you admin fax it, or you return certified return receipt, that puppy right to the SSA local field office. The easiest way for most beneficiaries to update their address or direct deposit information with the SSA, if needed, is online with a personal My Social Security account. You can always do that too. There's no need to call or visit the SSA. Remember, the SSA is trying to not get you to call them. They're trying to not get you to go to the offices because they don't have enough employees. Like we don't know what the number is yet. They haven't released the new number, but we know it's way worse than what it was when Commissioner Martin O'Malley was in, because they are in full like fail and bail mode. They just don't have enough employees. And it's not the employee's fault. It's the SSA. When a company doesn't have enough employees, that's the bosses, not the workers. All right, SSA will continue to provide updates on this webpage. Next question. What if a person pays their Medicare premium directly to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services due to the windfall elimination provision or government? Well, let me find the next page here. Pension offset reduction. SSA recommends that until they get a notice from SSA, the person should continue to follow the instructions on the Medicare premium bill and pay the bill to ensure their Medicare coverage does not stop. So just keep things as they usually are. SSA will send a notice telling people when their Social Security record is updated. Once the person begins receiving a Social Security benefit, the Medicare premium will be deducted from their monthly payment. If the benefit is not enough to cover the Medicare premium, the person will be billed for the remainder. SSA's notice will include this information. So basically, you might get a boost, and then they might take it from Medicare payment. Yeehaw, yeehaw. All right, next. If the person prepaid their premiums to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, the SSA tells them that their premiums will now be deducted from their monthly Social Security benefit. They will receive any applicable refund. SSA's notice will include this information. You may need to take action. For people who pay their Medicare premium using Automated Clearinghouse and ACH, also known as Medicare Easy Pay or online bill payment, once SSA notifies the person they will be receiving a benefit increase, the Medicare premium will automatically be deducted from their monthly Social Security payment. Next thing. For people using Medicare Easy Pay, they should arrange to stop the ACH payments by completing the authorization agreement for pre-authorized payments form SF-5510. Again, SF-5510. So if you use, an ACH payment system, Medicare Easy Pay, get that SF-5510 form and sending to the address on the form or online at medicare.gov. Both options are located at medicare.gov/basics/costs/pay-premiums/Medicare-easy-pay, blah, blah, blah. Just go ahead and go to the medicare.gov website. It'll have a link there and you'll be just fine. Cool. Next thing. For people using online bill payment, if a person is paying their Medicare premiums through their bank's online bill payment service, they should contact their bank to stop their online bill payments or, modify them based off of how much you're actually supposed to say. You can always call 1-800-MEDICARE, again, 1-800-633-4227 for assistance. Next, how can someone avoid scams about the repeal of WP and GPO? I'm amazed that somebody even, they would set up scams this quickly, but apparently, they could potentially set up scams this quickly. Unfortunately, bad actors might attempt to take advantage of situations when money is involved. SSA will never ask or require a person to pay either for assistance or to have their benefits started, increased, or paid retroactively. Hang up and do not click or respond to anyone offering to increase or expedite benefits. Learn more about Social Security related scams and how to report them to the SSA Office of Inspector General. Bottom line is this: they're going to handle it. They will go ahead and begin the payment process to you. So if somebody calls you up and like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and expedite these benefits to you if you just go ahead and pay this amount, blah, blah, blah. No, it's BS. That's a scam. Get away from that. Cool. What is SSA doing to tell people about the repeal of WEP and GPO? This is where the SSA gets a little snarky. SSA has taken several steps to tell people what it is doing to implement the act and to provide important updates. SSA wants people to avoid unnecessarily calling or visiting while the SSA is finalizing its implementation plan. All right, so the SSA created this Social Security Fairness Act webpage to explain what the act does, what steps, if any, someone should take, and other helpful information. The webpage offers the option to subscribe to receive pension offset reduction. Like, wait, subscribe to get alerts when the SSA updates the webpage, eliminating the need to return to the webpage to check for updates. SSA encourages media and organizations to direct people to this webpage for information. So, as the most viewed and subscribed to Disability Training in America, y'all should head over to the webpage on good old SSA.gov. Clicky, and get that thing subscribed to. All right. Social Security added some upfront messaging to its national 800 number about the act, so callers do not need to wait to speak to a representative. The webpage has more detailed information. In other words, the SSA is saying, stop calling us. We don't got enough employees to deal with y'all. That's what they're saying. Plans to share up. So the Social Security Administration plans to share updates with state retirement boards, labor unions, financial planners, and human resource professionals. There you go. All right. What is the SSA doing to ensure it can help people affected by the Social Security Fairness Act? All right. Now, we're starting to get into some sassafras from the SSA. The act requires SSA to adjust benefits for over 3 million people. Since the law's effective date is in the past, SSA must adjust some people's past benefits as well as future benefits. Processing these changes is very complex, and SSA's analysis shows that much of the work must be done manually on an individual case-by-case basis. SSA is currently processing pending or new claims involving future benefits and developing procedures and automated solutions for computing retroactive benefits. All right, now here's the funny part. Here's the fun part. This is where the SSA goes full sass. They just throttle that sass right up. Here we go. Here, you get ready for this. They're going full sass on the SSA. What challenges does the SSA face implementing the Social Security Fairness Act? Expect some heavy barbecue sass. All right, here we go. SSA's ability to implement the law in a timely manner and without negatively affecting day-to-day customer service relies on funding. In other words, they're saying the government don't pay us enough to get this done. They don't even pay us to do this special thing. Remember, Commissioner Saul was fired because he went to the IRS and said, you got to give us more money to pay these employees to do extra work because they're doing work outside of what Congress told them to do with the money they were supposed to be paid. The act did not provide money to implement the new law. The law requires SSA to adjust benefits for over 3 million people. Since the law's effective date is retroactive, SSA must adjust people's past benefits as well as future benefits. Though SSA is helping some affected beneficiaries now under SSA's current budget, SSA expects that it could take more than 1 year to adjust benefits and pay all retroactive benefits. Boom! That's bad news right there. Let me read that to you again, because that's where basically the sadness comes in. The sadness. All right, here we go. Though SSA is helping some affected beneficiaries now, which means, they're basically already beginning the processing of the benefits under the Social Security Fairness Act. Under SSA's current budget, the SSA they can't afford to hire enough people. And now we got a hiring freeze, but the hiring freeze says it's not supposed to affect Social Security Administration, although it clearly does. SSA expects that it could take more than 1 year to adjust benefits and pay all retroactive benefits. Let me read that part again, because it's the part that should crush your soul. SSA expects that it could take more than a year to adjust benefits and pay all retroactive benefits. So in this sentence, they're saying SSA is helping some affected beneficiaries now. They're doing calls. We expect that they're probably doing some test release of benefits. But for y'all, all of y'all, the rest of y'all, expect a year. Remember, Biden fired Trump's commissioner because he took like a month and a half to process basically a list of over 7 million people. Under Biden's team, they only got 3 million people to process, and it's going to take them a year. I'm telling you, Trump has an opportunity here where he can take control. He can fix this. I'm telling you, the Republicans can actually do well on this one. All right. Callers to the SSA's national 800 number hear a message about the act. The message has helped tens of thousands of people avoid holding for representative. However, maximum SAS mode effectuated. Here we go. However, more than 7,000 people each day still choose to wait to speak to a representative about the act. More than 7,000 of y'all are calling the SSA going, where's my money? These calls, as well as visitors and appointments in local offices, will continue to increase over the coming weeks and months, helping people with this new and unfunded workload. Notice that unfunded word? They're very snarky about that unfunded word. It's because they don't have money to hire people. It's like they don't have enough people and they can't hire more people. And they don't even have the people to go and train new people. They got a problem. Helping people with this new and unfunded workload is made more difficult by SSA's ongoing staffing shortages, including operating under a hiring freeze since November of 2024. This hiring freeze is likely to continue. All SSA customers, including those not affected by the act, will face delays and increased wait times as SSA prioritizes this new workload. All right. Like I said, Trump can go ahead and capitalize on this situation by doing the following. Send a demand letter publicly to the SSA to pay the benefits as quickly as possible. Go to the SSA to review the list creation process for sending out the checks. Make a demand on Commissioner Carolyn Colvin to pay the benefits by a certain date or to face termination where another acting commissioner will be put in place. I'm sure President Trump would likely line this up with the process, get his new pick commissioner in place, being Frank Bisignano. I'm sure Commissioner Carolyn Colvin is fully aware of this situation. Place a page on the White House website showing how many days have passed since the Social Security Fairness Act was signed into law and still not yet paid. Hold a special public meeting with the Fraternal Order of the Police, talking about the current state of the economy and the need for the benefits to be released immediately. An advertisement campaign calling the benefit dollars being hostage to a Democrat-led Social Security administration, when in reality it's not really a Democrat-led administration, but of course Carolyn Colvin is the commissioner currently, a registered Democrat. Those are the things Trump could do to take advantage of the situation and take ownership of the Social Security Fairness Act. Now, bottom line. Will he do that? Who knows? He's busy right now. Look, Social Security is not like his main priority. Okay. Border walls, immigration, tariff. Those are the biggies. Those are the biggie fries, right? All right. With that said, I now have to go live in the next video to answer questions for free. You know how it works. The phone goes into this thingy right here. You guys call in. I answer questions for free and we have a good time. With that said, please remember to like and subscribe. Hit the like button. There's over 1,000 people in here. We only got 269 likes. Hit that like button. Also, please go to Google. Type in Disability Resolution Law Firm or Disability Resolution Florida and throw some stars up there, some review stars. I always love waking up to those. They make me feel better because, let's call it like it is. As you can tell, I don't get a lot of sleep because I'm constantly working because this field doesn't really pay that well. So, which means you can't hire as many employees. With that said, bottom line, I go live Mondays and Thursdays. And final note with all this. If you want a private session, we're about 2 weeks out for them, but basically it's where you buy an hour. Private session mini contract is below. Very simply put, if you want a private session where you have to ask me some tough situation, run hearing questions, go through a CDR, a CDI investigative group is, running after you, whatever. Bottom line is the mini contract is below. Now, an updated mini contract is coming out with even more options where it's not just me talking you through it. There's even a writing option, but those are obviously more expensive, yada, yada, yada. So I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you at the next video in about 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you so much, Attorney Walter Hnot, America's most viewed and subscribed to Social Security Disability Attorney. I will catch you later at the next video. Here we go. Thanks so much. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.